Welcome to Marketplace Live. Let's defy gravity.
Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I'm David Robertson, VP of Alliance Partnerships at Digital Realty, and I'm here today with the one and only Chen, Senior Director of Partners at Alliances at Zenlayer. Hi, Wade. Thanks for being with us today.
Hey, David. My pleasure. It's always great to connect with you guys and then, talk about how Zenlayer and Digital can do more and expand our presence.
Absolutely, Wade. With everyone working from home these days, it's nice to be able to engage in a video chat every now and then, see our partners face to face. It certainly has been a seemingly long time since we've been able to do that with the current pandemic. It has really changed how we come together, and we all have somehow discovered there are multiple definitions of home office. One of my team members just moved into a house in Texas with no home office. He has 4 children, so his definition of home office is his garage. We've had some fun meetings in the middle of summer in Dallas. Let's just say he's happy that fall's arrived. We're proud to have Zenlayer front and center in our New York, Los Angeles, and Atlanta data centers here in the U.S., and our partnership is so valuable as it allows customers to connect to emerging markets like China, India, and Southeast Asia with more than 180 points of presence around the globe. So, Wade, how is Zenlayer focusing in on improving the experience in this quote-unquote new normal?
Sure. It's definitely been interesting. Some of the stats or the data points that we have seen. Roughly 54% of companies are, still using on-prem devices to kind of serve their clients and access. There's something about like 31% of companies are using VPN for the first time, right? And because of it's pretty interesting because of this, it's actually accelerated a lot of the people that are looking to migrate into the cloud. We've seen a huge disruption. If you compare January and June of this year, I think something like 54%, almost maybe 60% of companies have seen huge interruptions in internet, and that's really common. Yeah, it's pretty common, especially if they don't have the scalability, if they're not serving out from the data center, so that influx and the need to connect into the cloud or just for their normal IP transit is a huge requirement because you can't get that much content or those big pipes to every single office building, right? And then if people are remote trying to log into that and you have a VPN and they have to access something within your organization, right? Then it can be very difficult if you haven't been already prepared for that. So, we're seeing a huge influx of people trying to figure out how to connect better into the cloud and also trying to maybe move and shift some of that infrastructure into more well-connected and purpose-built locations, such as DRT.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I recall, you guys have been doing a lot of stuff around, Defying Gravity and PlatformDIGITAL. I think this is a very unique offering that can probably help solve some issues. Well, I'd love to learn more about that as well.
Right. I agree with your assessment on, the limitations that are out there today with people using VPN for the first time. We're starting to see the longer-term effects of COVID in that what it's having on those enterprise companies around the globe. Some companies did not see an urgent need to innovate prior to this year, and on-prem, had a local advantage before. There's an immediate need to create more efficient and effective infrastructure for sure. Look, you mentioned data gravity. Data gravity is the biggest challenge facing all companies. What I mean by data gravity is that it is applying the laws of physics and IT intersecting with digital transformation. As we all know these days, data is created everywhere. It used to be that data was gathered in one place and users moved to where the data resides. Now that data created everywhere, like in buildings, smartphones, and even our homes, not just in the clouds or enterprise data centers. As a matter of fact, a recent Gartner study said that in the next couple of years, half of all the data created, all the data we create, will be created outside of these areas. Think mobile phones, mobile workers, smart homes and buildings, the continued acceleration of that long-used acronym IoT or Internet of Things.
Mm-hmm.
So, as that data is created, it needs to be aggregated together to be able to draw valuable insights and improve the overall experience. What the recently announced Data Gravity Index tells us is that when the data is stored, it attracts other related applications and services that also use it. This creates a bit of a compounding effect that makes the data harder to move. Now, all that said, it still needs to be able to move to properly serve the physical locations of the users. In the case of working from home, like we were discussing, those locations are everywhere on the edge. Add the complexity, security, and compliance to that movement, and you have a significant challenge to solve. So all of this is pushing the industry to come up with new business models. These business models are focused on decentralizing architectures and physical access to the data where the data is being used. At Digital Realty, our portfolio becomes a ubiquitous platform for this that spans over 6 continents in their major metros. This allows businesses to not only physically position their data where it is being used, but through our platform, they can also access the infrastructure and services ecosystems that also provide valuable solutions on PlatformDIGITAL like the ones you offer. Also, we have designed blueprints, column blueprints, architectures, for how businesses can successfully deploy on our platform that can address how businesses manage, secure, and move their data with greater efficiency, access, and value. In many cases, when businesses access the combined value of PlatformDIGITAL and Zenlayer, efficiencies we can bring together can often offset a major portion of the cost of the new deployments, as we've seen together. To bring it to a finer point, Wade, PlatformDIGITAL, along with the solutions that partners like you bring forward, can help businesses connect to, control, and optimize how they manage their data and defy the natural forces of data gravity. So, Wade, what do you see as a solution to this changing landscape, and how can Zenlayer and Digital Realty help business expand their digital presence globally and, quote unquote, defy gravity with industry-leading compute, networking, and application solutions?
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Dave. That defying gravity is, I think, a great term. And then, because it focuses on what you mentioned, decentralization, right? I think we've talked in the past about how everything was very decentralized, and then it got centralized, and then now they're decentralizing the cloud, right? And as you mentioned, a lot of this stuff is living on the edge. And we find a lot of value, working with DRT, because you're in a lot of these major metros, like you said, interconnected points. But increasingly, a lot of our customers may be doing mobile applications or games, or like you mentioned, IoT, and they need to be either closer to the user, or there's a lot of data that is coming on near that edge, right? So because we have about 185 POPs, and this is growing, this is all based on our customers trying to grow out of this, we are uniquely positioned to help them get into the edge and store everything locally, whether it's for GDPR, whether it's because of latency, right? We try to reach about 80% of the population within 25 milliseconds or less. And we have the goal to try to get that down to 10 milliseconds within 90% of the world, right? But even though we do that and we're at the edge, we still need to bring that back to a central location, because that needs to get distributed all over the place. So, working with DRT, we're very uniquely positioned to enable a very globally diverse network and to interconnect everything and help our customers reach those emerging markets, right? And on top of this, as you mentioned, from the work from home, what we're seeing is a lot of the customers are looking at building a regional hub in a location like DRT to support this, so that whether they're using it to reach out to their customers or whether their customers are trying to just get better access to them. I think being able to speed up the process and how we're able to connect, deploy, and everything like that has been one of the ethos for Zenlayer, making it super simple for customers to do that, right? And obviously, the faster we can deploy with DRT, leveraging this platform, leveraging some of your network and the other connectivity or options that you guys have, it makes it much easier for us to deploy that for our customers, as well as act as the core to deploy across these emerging markets and reach out into these networks. And also, because we also have a platform that leverages a lot of APIs, we're able to almost create a similar experience, right? And hopefully, they'll be able to control most of that through PlatformDIGITAL, and then just kind of extend that network and make it super simple to work with us. And that's part of what we like to do, especially for our name, like Zenlayer. We joke about that, but we try to make it really easy. I tell a lot of our customers, we're kind of like that big red easy button, right? You just hit that and we'll kind of take care of everything for you. And then underneath, DRT helps us take care of some of that stuff too, right?
That's right. So they hit the button and they get Zen. Very good. Well, fantastic, Wade. Great insights. I'm so glad you could join us today, Wade. There's a lot on the horizon with our partnership, and together We're helping customers reach emerging markets, improve our experiences, and lower latency through bare metal cloud, managed hosting, and co-location across the globe, as you mentioned. The challenges of a workforce that is now working from home requires both us and you, Digital Realty and Zenlayer, to start thinking out of the box to solve for data gravity challenge that our clients are facing. And our combined value is exactly what's needed to answer that challenge. Thank you, Wade, for joining me, and thank you for joining Marketplace Live.